We have had an absolutely beautiful spring. It's just been amazing. Our winter was very mild. We didn't get a lot of rain. That's not great, but the weather has been phenomenal. Tomorrow is our first hot day. Makes me think about a friend of mine. He had a very nice job. He was writing computer code, and he had this corner office, all glass that looked out to a grassy knoll. There was a time period where they were working him really hard, 12-hour days, working on Saturdays. He looked out one day, just, kind of stressed, and he saw the gardener riding a zero-turn lawnmower. Headphones on, beautiful day, just out there riding, not a care in the world. And they connected eyes, as if that guy could see that he was somewhat envious of his job. Well, a month or two go by, and now it's 100 plus out there. My friend, the big project's over. He's working like 7-hour days. He's got his iced tea here, air conditioning, headphones in. Not a worry. The guy on the zero turn drives by, and yes, looks in. They connect eyes, as if now the guy on the zero turn is envious of his job. Cushy little job, air conditioning, no worries, good salary, retirement. You know the story. So easy to allow jealousy and envy to enter into our hearts. This is where we are today. In the book of Numbers, chapter 12, we have Miriam and Aaron. And what they do is they begin to complain against Moses. This is very, very interesting. Is that Moses has just got from a situation to where he had been laboring day and night, judging the people. His father-in-law says, this is not good. They established 70 elders to come in and help. And now he gets attacked by Miriam and Aaron. And notice that Miriam is listed first, and when it comes time for judgment, she's the one that receives it as if she was leading out in this. The verse that we're very familiar with is verse 3. It says, now the man Moses was very meek above all men. Now it's inserted here because he was the guy that was judging or bringing about judgment on everyone. And here in this situation, as they are judging him, he steps back and gives place to the Lord. The Lord comes in, and as you begin to read along, the Lord calls them out, and we see the name reversed in verse 5. Aaron and Miriam are called, and God places judgment on them. And Miriam, her judgment is leprosy. And if you think about this a little bit, you think to yourself, she was listed first. It's as if she had this really caustic attitude, and it began to spill out, and ultimately it seems to reflect in her body on the outside. Where did all this complaining come from? Well, as I look at this, I see from chapter 11 to chapter 20, there's just a whole series of complaining. And you have to ask the question, is it because they still had this slave mentality? See, someone that is free, they're free from all kinds of comparison, and they're free to really contemplate and think about what God has done for them. And they exhibit gratitude, which would be the opposite of the complaining. And so I think this is why Paul tells those in Philippi, in Philippians 4:8, to think on these things. We're to think on the things that God has done. The enemy wants to commandeer our mind and get us to think about negative things. When it comes to the battle in your mind, who are you going to allow to take control? The enemy or the Spirit of God? Miriam had a slave mentality, and she began to complain. We could do that today. We could look at our world. For instance, it's going to be hot tomorrow. We can complain about that. Or we can say, you know what? Without the heat, we got no food. They're talking about shortages. We need food. So, those degree days are very important. We can look at it that way. We can look at the world that we're in today and go, look at all the negative. But look at the fact that people are waking up to see that what is recorded here in this book is coming about. How do you look at your world today? You know, if you're a child of God, you're in a very enviable position. I hope you see that, and I hope you know the Lord. God bless you.